Hello, hello. Actually, I'll go ahead and switch the camera on for just a minute. It's almost as if I thought this through. Yeah, it's fine. It's the theme. It's Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy, is it the Crystal theme? I don't know what it is. Or is it the Crystal Prologue, which is the arpeggios? This might have Crystal name. Whatever, though. New game. Udis. Yeah, so I've been doing Final Fantasy VII Remake, of course. We did 31 and a half hours of it on that one stream. Then I did most of the rest of hard mode on the last stream yesterday. So here we are, the 30th of December, starting up Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. Now, I'm billing this as a blind playthrough, but it's not entirely blind, and that's what I want to talk about real quick. I borrowed this game back in like high school or whatever from a friend, and it was not this version, of course. This is a much newer version, but I borrowed this game, and I really enjoyed my time with it. I thought it was fun. It was very different. It felt like 11 a little bit in terms of the combat system and everything. And I had liked my time with 11, so I was pretty happy about it. But I really just liked the mechanics and the systems of the game so much that I spent like 40 to 70 hours grinding. I don't know. I spent a lot of time grinding. And I never really made it far into the story. It's also been so long that I don't really remember the story of what I played. So there may be some things early on that I kind of recall. I do remember, is it the Easter Sands and the Wester Sands or something? Or some of the maps around the beginning. I know that the license board is like a thing and there's hunts. I remember there's like this big T-Rex guy and some werewolves that I was grinding. I was grinding the werewolves for a long time. They were leveling me up fast. And then there were like some sewers or something that I found my way in. I want to say it was not a Marlboro, but I feel like it might have actually been a Marlboro. There was something down there. And I did all this basically at the start of the game. Very little story, probably less than 5 hours of story. And again, I'm not going to remember most of it. All I've done here on the PC version of this years ago, I think years ago, it doesn't show a date, but I only put a minute in just to like test it out, and I was like, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna do a playthrough, and I didn't. So now's a good time to actually give this game a full playthrough. And without further ado, let's get it started. Oh. So New Game Plus, characters' levels are higher when the game begins. That scrolls really slowly. That's interesting because I haven't beaten this game. In New Game Minus, there's no use of experience points. What is that? Well, don't spoil it, I guess, but... graphic settings, everything should be fine. One thing I want to confirm... Okay, no, we're set correctly. One thing that was bothering me... I did reload that save last night. Just making sure the game ran okay and all. And my controls were set all wonky. Where is it at? Yeah, confirm button. It was like the Japanese setting where B, which would be circle on the PlayStation, is okay. And man, it was throwing me off. Oops. We have to wait for this to fade again. It's stylistic, but when you accidentally go back, it sucks. Alright, so I guess we're good. I don't know the difference between, like, I know what original and reorchestrated means. I don't know what OST means. Like, I know it's original soundtrack, but what is the difference between the... I don't know. We're gonna go original. I'm gonna start a new game. The Hudson River, 2 years ago. We had classified intelligence that a new type of Final Fantasy scheduled for transport. The whole thing stank. Year 704, Old Valentinian, Kingdom of Dalmasca, the royal city of Rabanastre. I almost said Dalmasca in Easter Sands earlier. But I was like, is Dalmasca something else? Well, I sure hope Tusk makes it. He'd be happy right now. It's like, what in the hell is going on? Big celebration. We already got chocobos. All kinds of non-humans. Wedding. Seems to be a wedding. Royal wedding.
In the name of the Father, and in the presence of these holy relics, I hereby pronounce you man and wife from this time forth. May the blessings of the gods light your path for all eternity. Far on.
I don't know if I missed a subtitle option or if they just didn't want to subtitle that. That could be a problem.
If, following this, Arcadia should launch an attack by both land and air, our kingdom will stand little...
Nabudis has fallen.
Impossible!
My father? I know not. I am sorry.
If Nabudis has indeed fallen, it is only a matter of time before they reach the borders of Dalmasca. There is nothing to halt their advance.
That's fancy.
With all haste.
I will go.
And I will go at his side.
So we got like guns and machinery and stuff, but it's very, very fantasy heavy. This airship thing that just lowered down looks very mechanical, but it had like a gun on it and stuff. I actually don't remember any of this.
Galtea, stand watch over your life. That I be considered worthy.
Cool. That's a good fade. Okay, the Dalmasca and Nabradia border, Albino Fortress. They just said it differently. Nalbina? They were saying it weird. Yo, what the fuck? That's crazy. You got like pilots shooting at each other and stuff. At the same time this is going on. Oof.
The fortress is lost! We must withdraw! No! The paling still stands! Shield beyond sight. Near failing light.
I think those guys are dead.
The paling's fallen. Then it's over. For my father. For my father! Lord Rasler!
This is some of the most intense destruction I've seen in a Final Fantasy opening. Seriously. We haven't even played yet, right?
Blessings of the Great Father descend, and guide your bodies return to the earth. Great Father, guide your spirits return to the Mother of all. There you shall find peace. Father.
Okay then. Oh, look at that guy. He's cool.
The death of Lord Rasla Heos Nabradia was but one of many tragedies to befall the Kingdom of Dalmasca. The air of hope that had surrounded Her Royal Highness Princess Asha's wedding was now quite lost. Dalmasca had been set adrift at the mercy of history's restless tides. At this time, two great empires struggled for dominion over Ivalice: Arcadia in the east, Rosaria the west. The invasion of the Kingdom of Nabradia was Arcadia's first step in its westward march. With Lord Rasla's beloved homeland consumed by the hellfires of war, it seemed clear that Arcadia would soon mete out a like fate to Dalmasca. The fall of the fortress at Nalbina told the destruction of the greater part of Dalmasca's forces. A counterattack was mounted by the order of the Knights of Dalmasca, ever brave and faithful. But against the martial might of the Arcadian armies, they stood little chance of victory. Indeed, their defeat was to be absolute. Soon thereafter, Arcadia came forward, offering terms of peace, or, as one might rather put it, terms of Dalmasca's surrender. Lord Ramenos, King of Dalmasca, and my dear friend, had no choice but to accept these terms. It was, thus, only with reluctance that he set out for Nalbina Fortress, now under Arcadian occupation, to affix his seal to the Emperor's Treaty of Peace. The king had scarce departed his royal city of Rabanasta when the remnants of the Order made their return, and not a moment too soon, for a terrible revelation awaited them. The treaty would be signed with steel and writ in royal blood.
Okay, the memoirs. Interesting. So this is being told after the fact, of course.
Can you hear me?
It's as I feared. They're slowing us down.
Do not say that. Not all of us are here for love of battle. He fights to defend his homeland. Your name?
Rex, sir. My name's Rex.
Good. Rex. You bore a few cuts, but you are still whole. Well, can you stand?
This is what I do remember.
Think you can fight?
I'm fine, sir.
How old are you, Rex?
17, sir.
Young. Family?
My brother is all I have left, sir. He's 2 years younger than I, living in Rabanastre.
So young. You're barely old enough to be a man. You shouldn't be forced to wield a sword.
No, sir. I want to fight. For my homeland. And for my parents.
It's time, Bosch. Save the discussion for later. We must reach the king before they
Rex,
act, or
Bosch.
our efforts will be in vain.
I'm aware of the situation.
We found them! Over there!
Bossler, go ahead. I will handle this rabble.
Godspeed.
Steady, Rex. Keep your wits about you and you'll make it.
I want to keep my wits about this options menu to double check for subtitles. You must always be mindful of your surroundings. Use the right stick to look around. It's a useful way to spot Imperials. Go on, give it a try. My eyes need to adjust to the game all of a sudden. Use left to move. Use left stick to move Rex. Walk or run with left stick. Use this depending on, do I click it or is it just how much I push it? How much I push it. Okay. Do you see the marker above my head? That's a talk icon. You can talk to any character showing one of these. To talk to someone, approach them and press A. Try talking to your friend by the gate. It won't let me do the options yet. Life is worth too much to throw away, Rex. Do what you can, but don't try to be an hero. Reference. Save the hero stories for your brother once we're back in Rabanastre. Just listen to the captain, we'll get through this. We'll enter the fortress through this gate. We must go. See the marker above your head? That's called an action icon. One of these will appear when you approach a door, a switch, an item, or the like. To learn more about what you've found, walk closer and the icon will change. Then press A. Now try opening the gate. It is time. We will drive back any Imperials standing between us and the King. Dalmasca's future hangs in the balance. Stay focused on the foes before you, Rex. I will watch rearward. Whoa. There's a lot of sounds in there. You can open the party menu by pressing Y. This is literally where I loaded in last night when I was like, let's just see if the game's running okay. You can open the party menu by pressing Y. From the party menu, you can examine your equipment and inventory. That red line's a hostile target line. Take heed, you're being targeted. When a foe targets you, the line is red. When you target a foe, the line is blue. If you see a red line, look for the foes at once. If they're not readily apparent, use right stick to look around. When you've found them, press A to open the battle menu. Once you've selected attack and targeted a foe, close distance by using left stick. You'll automatically attack until your foe is defeated. You can change targets or actions at any time. If your health falls, press A and select items from the battle menu, then use a potion. After using an item, you will automatically resume your previous action. There's no need to input your commands again. You can do it, Rex. Show me. Oh, they're ganging up on this man. Okay, config. Yeah, I messed up. That's okay. We'll go everything else normal. Start us at level 3. Left stick is a map. I do like that the map's over the game, kind of. We'll see if I like it over time. Hopefully no green screens in this game. Doesn't look like an actual movie though. So I did play through this fight and the next last night. And this thing has like special attacks that it kept doing. It would just like bomb everything. But it hasn't. There it is. Get away from that. But if I took damage, people just healed me automatically. It's like, I presume you can't really die here. Yeah, see, I had 62 health, they brought me back up. You can use black magic on it, too. I think that's a quickening, which is basically a limit break.
My engines are hit. She'll not hold much longer.
Tonberry.
We receive you, Tonberry. You've leave to retire. Well fought.
My thanks, Antlion. Tonberry disengaging.
I'm shocked that the mic is not picking up the game audio. It's kind of loud, but it wasn't picking it up, so whatever. Oh, this fight goes well. Check this out. I want the one in the middle. Off on this man. Don't be blocking me. It picks up a sniffle on my end, but it doesn't pick up their really loud talking, which is interesting. I mean, yes, I am way closer to the mic, but this is a sensitive mic. As one review put it on sweetwater.com, I think that's where it was, this mic could pick up a fly farting in Africa. Anyway, Bosch says, there's no simple way through the fortress. The minimap at the top right of your screen may not be enough to gain your bearings. Should you lose your way, consult your location map with back. This will bring up the map of the fortress we gave you before we set out. If you still find yourself at a loss, pressing left stick will allow you to view the location map as you move. Navigate your way through as you see fit. Which means we do everything. Oh, I like how they've done this. The lines show us where things connect. So I know, don't go to those lines until I'm ready to go to a different area.
Vossler! Where are you?
What if Captain Oculus has fallen?
Don't talk such nonsense. Vossler's laughed in the face of death far too many times for him to stop now. Men like him don't die in places like this. We must make haste to reach the king. We will take him to safety.
Is His Majesty unharmed?
He'll agree to an unconditional surrender. They wouldn't dare touch him until the wax on his seal is dry.
But if we arrive after he signed the treaty...
Wait. Quickly, Rex.
Yeah, I didn't even play this far yesterday when I was checking things back out. Okay, so this is an optional route. I do remember grinding here the first time I played. Oh man, something about like... This happens to me a lot of times. My eyes don't immediately adjust to a game, and like as things are moving around, it just messes with me. What? There are several enemy soldiers beyond this point. However, Rex, there's no need to destroy them all. Sometimes it's necessary to escape. The right trigger command can allow you to abandon the fight with an enemy and run away. Escaping from a pointless battle is nothing to be ashamed about. That's a weird time to do that. Okay. Yeah, see that they just immediately top me off. Look at this, we got dudes coming in from the back. Don't block me. Okay, so there's one thing about this game that it's notorious for. Kind of, and I'm gonna talk about it. Ooh, yeah, the camera, something as weird is happening sometimes when the camera gets up near the walls, and it's really hurting me. I'll get used to it, though. What's happening during Talos Principle, and it happens other times. We got a dude coming in, see him on the map. Anyway, this game is notorious for something. There's like an ultimate weapon, basically, that you can get, and you can get many copies of it. You can get one for every character, I believe. But it's really difficult to get. And there was a guaranteed way to get it in the original game, which involved not opening certain treasure chests. These treasure chests were not marked in any way. It was just an arbitrary, hey, if you open these treasure chests, the one that gives you the spear that you were looking for will not spawn. So, there was still a way to get it, and it was a thing with like a 0.1% chance of spawning, so you go in and out of the dungeon until it spawned. So that's fun, right? What I was doing, I was gonna, as much as I want to be blind, I was gonna go through this game with a guide for those treasure chests, but what I found is, just before stream, when looking up information on it, is that the Zodiac Age does not have that same issue. There's still a guaranteed way to get it, and then the chest that had a 0.1% chance of spawning is now like a 1% chance, but it has a guaranteed drop for the weapon. So it's a thing like, okay, you just go in and out of the place. It's really easy to make it respawn. So it might be something I do off stream, or we'll see. This is a save crystal, Rex. You could save your progress by approaching a save crystal and pressing A. Touching one of these crystals will also fully restore your health and magic. Though you will gradually recover magic as you move about, it can take time. Do not miss this opportunity to refresh yourself and your allies. There's more I would tell you, but we've no time. Heed the lessons of the battlefield and you will do well. Come, we must reach His Majesty before it's too late. Upper apartments. I'm gonna just step away for a couple of moments. I think this might have to do with my eyes screwing with me. I'm probably a little bit dehydrated. I have water, but I meant to also take a BC powder because I feel like a slight headache. I forgot to do that before starting. So I'm going to be right back after I take some headache medicine and hope that also helps me out. Okay, we are back. Just get situated here. Let me get my balls in the right order. Gotta make sure the middle one stays in the middle. Alrighty. So we came from... Right, that's the next area. So yeah, there's not really anything over here. Man, hiccups. Seems like the game is auto-saving.
Don't let them escape!
Sir, we have little time. You must go to the king. I'll handle these.
Fight well.
Now they take the crutch away. It's a good thing. First of all, these guys seem way weaker. That wasn't worth it, was it? Ooh, good block. So we had a chain pop up. I don't know if the webcam was covering that or not. We had a chain pop up. That's actually a mechanic I vaguely remember. I think it affects your loot and everything, and we'll be getting into that because I am going to be grinding. Probably not as much as I did the first time I played this game, but I am going to be grinding. I want to kind of re-experience it the way I did the first time, to an extent. And I know some people would not like that, but it's how I'm going to enjoy the game. By getting super beefy and chunky and awesome. I do enjoy playing RPGs like that. But there's also like an interesting kind of challenge and science to the way grinding works on here. Which I'm looking forward to getting back. Like, I don't remember all the details, so I'm looking forward to getting back and like refiguring this out. Damn.
Your Majesty.
Did you do it, boss?
Why? Our king, what have you done?
The king intended all along to sell Damaska to the Empire. His Majesty was a traitor.
Oh, damn.
Captain,
Seize the insurgent. Along!
He just stabbed Rex quick.
Well, so much for peaceful negotiations.
We'll never surrender to you. We are not cattle to be sold by a traitor king.
But the war is over, my dear captain. You have lost. Dalmasca is the property of the Empire now. And to think, we intended to let you keep some of your sovereignty, out of respect. But now you've gone and ruined that. Haven't you, Captain?
We will never bow to you.
And the people of Dalmasca will hate you for it. Take the captain away.
Off you go.
I got an achievement for the homeland. Beat the prologue, probably. 'Cause, yeah, this is not... Vaughn. Yeah, that's the name I know. This is the way I remembered that castle thing being the tutorial.
Of peace left by the wayside. The Arcadian forces resumed their advance toward Rabanasta. Dalmasca's doom had been decided. To make resistance would serve no end. With this foremost in my thoughts, I, to the people of Dalmasca. Sons and daughters of Dalmasca, I bid you lay down your arms. Raise songs of prayer in their stead. Prayer for His Majesty King Raminas, ever merciful, a man devoted wholly to peace. Prayer, too, for the noble Princess Ash, who, wrought with grief at her kingdom's defeat, has taken her own life.
Damn, this shit's starting off heavy.
Bosch von Ronsenberg, for incitement of sedition and the assassination of His Royal Majesty King Raminas, has been found guilty of high treason and put to his death. They who at this late hour choose still the sword are cut of the same cloth as the captain. Traitors who would lead Dalmasca to her ruin. Dalmasca's surrender without terms was soon to follow.
What is MQS? Memoirs, it says in the bottom, Memoirs of MQ. They abbreviate these titles. I don't know what that title is. And here we are in the sewers. This is similar to where, again, hey, how's it going, Papa? Welcome.
Vaughn, hurry it up or they'll find us.
I know, just a little more. You keep an eye out for me up there, Kites.
Papa Francu. Hope you're doing all right.
Time to clean house.
This is where, again, kind of me speculating. I want to rediscover it on my own, but whatever it was that I fought, yo, rat, get back here. I have targeted that one. I'm gonna kill that one. Oh my god, is it really gonna play this game with me? I have committed to this one. We're doing it. Anyway, the thing I want to just speculate on and try to remember and rediscover is, I really don't think it was a Marlboro, but it might have been a Marlboro down here. It's just, yeah, there's so many things I just vaguely remember from all those years ago. And then still, it was only like a few hours worth of story that I ever saw. Because I'd be grinding.
You got them all yourself? Guess I know who to call when something big comes along.
Hey, it's good practice for the desert. I'm ready for anything now. That's enough for today. You should get back to Miguel's place, Kites. Aren't you running errands for him?
Oops, totally forgot. You should come, Vaughn. He's busy today. Might have some work for you to do, too.
I've got other, work to do. Hey, lock this place up for me, will you? If Miguel finds out we've been down here, he'll tan our hides.
That's a brutal phrase when you think about it. He'll tan our hides, like, just the implications of someone actually going through with that threat. The royal city of Rabanasta. Yeah, I recognize this. Year 706, Old Valendian. 2 years after the fall of Dalmasca. Oh, this man eating. This man got some fruit.
Sir, you haven't paid, and I... What? Haven't paid? On second thought, please, sir, take it. It's a gift.
The Cockney accent, I love it.
We don't want trouble today.
Your luck, peddler.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, he stole.
Which way you're going, churl?
What? My pouch! It's gone!
The boy! Get out the way!
I like how there's just so many different creatures just all in one place. Which might be a good reason for me to give 14 another go. I like how all these weird, different kinds of creatures just live together.
What?
Hello. It's Pinello.
Hey, that's mine.
What do you mean, yours?
I think.
You've been stealing again. What happens if they catch you? We need you to be there for us, Vaughn. You're no good to anyone if you're locked away in a dungeon.
Oh, what? Am I the leader now? We're orphans. The first thing you learn is you gotta watch out for yourself. Come on, Pinello. You know it as well as I do. Hey, you give that back. What do you think you're doing?
I thought that this money was the people of Dalmasca's property. The Imperials stole it from us, so it's only fair that we take it back. It's our duty as Dalmascans. Well, wasn't that what you said?
Yeah, but I never said anything about taking it back from me.
This is for that bread you took the other day. Just because I help Miguelo out every now and then, it doesn't mean that you get to eat for free too, you know.
I know that. You think I like living like this?
Hey, thank you for that follow, Papa Fransu. I appreciate it.
One of these days, I'll fly an airship of my own. I'll be a sky pirate, free to go where I will.
Well, be careful. You'll never fly anything if you're rotting in a dungeon. Oh, Miguelo had some errands that need doing. He wanted you to drop by his place. It might be a good idea to lend a hand.
There's our direction for now. Also, yeah, that could be interesting. Papa here in chat says there's a raid based on this in Final Fantasy XIV. That's the thing. I love the idea of raids, but I've never really gotten into them in MMOs before. I really like the whole number go up thing, and I like just like maxing out my stats and everything, hitting max level and all that. But I've never really done raids and stuff. But I know that's typically a big draw for people. But I don't know, I get more and more, like, I'm more and more interested in giving 14 another go. I played a trial of it, like, however many years ago, like, after they relaunched the game. You remember that, like, the initial launch was just, no one liked it. They took it offline and brought it back, like, another year or two later. I did a trial after that. I was like, I had fun with it, but I didn't feel like doing a big MMO at the time. Alright, so your location map often bears a mark showing your destination. Consult the map when you are unsure of where to go next. Yeah, so we want to head, yeah, so I think, can I get a legend? I don't know how much I need it, but a couple of the symbols looked weird. World map's been added to the party menu. Yeah, like, it'll be fine. We'll figure them out as we go. We got a save crystal over here. Yeah, these are the areas I was thinking about, the Easter and Wester Sand. So then we just go down this way. Okay. We'll explore the area, though. Take a look at... Oops. Gotta get used to the different buttons. Hey, mister, you want to hear about the history of Rabanastre? It won't cost you much. What? I gotta eat too, you know. Let's see, one gil ought to do it. Sure. Okay, so 2 years back, Rabanastre lost the war with the Empire. That's when all the guards came and made us live under the city. The Empire has one person who runs the city and everything. He's called a consul. The new consul's coming today. That's why there's so many guards. Kinda short, huh? Don't worry, I'll try and find some new things to add for next time. He's, you know, he's trying. I give him credit. Look at this dude. I was just down at Miguelo's sundries. That Miguelo coming and going, so I'm half afraid he's gonna wear the door off its hinges. I did weird phrasing on that. That Miguelo's made quite a name for himself. What with that sundry shop of his and all. There's one banga a fella could take after. Okay. That's one of the races. Okay. Step back. Now. I haven't finished interrogating these two yet. Alright, we can come in here and buy light-up microphones. Oh, that's a magic shop. Okay. I really should see Miguelo first. Looks like a light-up microphone that you buy for a kid. Oh, Vaughn, how you doing? Lots of people out today. Thought I may try some of those tricks you showed me. Vaughn been teaching people to steal. Innocently walking past the sand sea I was, when a sudden thirst seized me. But I ain't a-going in, gotta save my gill. Oh, and that's this, yeah, that's the bar here. Oof, that texture though. Oof. I think the webcam was covering it, so yeah, we get a good look at that texture. I know it's an old game. Yeah, we're not going to be allowed to really go anywhere else, but I just want to talk to the people. Hey, Miguelo seemed like he was in a hurry. He's probably still at the shop. Better not keep him waiting too long. Oh, we're gonna keep people waiting once I start grinding. It's gonna be bad. Vexed father. They've closed all the stairs to Lowtown. Can you believe that? I don't care how important today is. This is absurd. This is a banga. Okay. Only been 2 years since Princess Ash took her own life, but it seems like Rabinastra's been in the Empire forever. Not that I'm complaining. No traffic in or out of Lowtown until the Lord Consul's assumed his post. No exceptions. I'm sure there's an exception. I'm sure if, like, the right person shows up. Miguelo? Feting the new consul? Miguelo this, Miguelo that. It's all I ever hear these days. There's a nervous energy running through the whole city today. With the new consul coming, I suppose it's to be expected. Weapons shop, but it won't let us go in, I know. Bucko! Everyone sure seems busy today. You, Kites, Pinello, me. Don't worry, I've got my own work to keep me busy. I'm gonna be so rich that, I know, I'll be rich enough to buy an airship. You can ride it anytime you want, Vaughn. That's Miguelo.
Vaughn, I was waiting.
Pinello said you needed something?
Had me some packages supposed to be arriving by courier. In the morning, perhaps he ran into some trouble on the desert. Now I've no foodstuffs to prepare for the banquet tonight.
So you want me to find this courier? Hey, no problem.
No problem. The desert teems with trouble. I'd be sending you to early grave, my boy. No, I've arranged for some replacement goods from Tomage over at the Sand Sea.
So you want me to go to the tavern to pick him up?
Actually, I asked Kites to do that. Wouldn't you know he's gone missing on me, too? I can't leave my shop and I've Pinello on another chore at the moment, you see. What I want you to do is run over to the Sand Sea and fetch Kites back.
I haven't seen Kites all day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sounds wild.
It's easy work, and you'll thank me for it someday.
Alrighty. Came to the East End to do some shopping, but there's so many shops I don't know where to begin. But you? My friend here says there are 14,264 cobblestones in the southern plaza around the corner, not including the tiles in the fountain. But even with the stones by the city gates, of course, he could be counting the flagstones too. That'd be another matter altogether. What? Do anything suspicious, we'll lock you up so fast your head'll spin. Don't think we'll let you off because you're young, neither. Yeah, I always say I don't trust somebody if they play like an RPG for the first time and they don't talk to the NPCs. Like, if you know who to talk to if you've played it before, that's different. But if you just like blow past NPCs without trying to talk to them, I don't trust you. I guess this is, yeah, this is it. It looks like a bar icon. Like a tavern.
There you are, Kites. Stop loafing around.
Look, Vaughn, look! This is it! This is why Miguelo's courier didn't get here on time.
A creature spotted in the Ester sand. What is that thing?
Tomato!
Vaughn! Miguelo sent you too, did he? He's a busy man these days, that Miguelo, if I dare say so myself. I don't envy him the work, though. Not a bit. Quite the affair throwing a banquet to welcome the Imperials, eh?
Welcoming? We should be... whatever. Say, Tomaj, what's this?
Nah, don't remind me. Got some nastiness out there in the Ester sand. What's stopping our couriers? And that means shortages all around. Thought I'd put up a bill, offer a reward to anyone who can knock that nasty back in its place.
Now that's work. Sounds 10 times better than running errands for Miguelo.
That's right. Vaughn, you should give it a shot.
And you should be getting back to Miguelo. Now, Kites. He was waiting for you.
Oh, right.
Get a tutorial right now? Yeah, we do. Okay. So here's how it works. People post bills here on the notice board when they have a monster they need taken care of. Headhunters track people, right? Well, hunters track monsters. The monster you're hunting is called your mark. Here's the bill I posted for the rogue tomato, the mark I petitioned to have hunted. Do you want to hear all the details? Yeah, because it's been like 14 years since I've done this. Let's start with accepting hunts. You can't just take a look at the board, then go running off to hunt the mark. You'll miss out on the bounty. You gotta talk to the person who posted the bill, the petitioner, first. Let them know you're going on the hunt. So take this rogue tomato bill, for example. I posted it, so I'm the petitioner. You have to come talk to me. Let's call that step done, okay? Once your agreement's in place, a petitioner will tell you how to find the mark. Then you hunt it, report back, and claim the bounty. Oh, and I'll give you something to help keep track of your hunts. A clan primer. Use it to refresh your memory about hunts you've accepted. Alrighty. Yeah, this system obviously kind of makes a comeback in 13 and 15. Clan primer has been added to the party menu, just different in each one. Go ahead and take this. While you're at it, just a little something to commemorate your first hunt. A weapon. Almost. An Orachea armlet. Hold on one moment. Looks like you can't even equip that yet. Know why? You don't have the license for it. Think of licenses as mileposts, marking your progress as your combat skills improve. Swords, bows, black magics, white magics, none of it does you a lick of good until you have the license to use it. Same goes for that armlet. Tomaj, how can I equip this great treasure you've bestowed on me, you ask? Easy. Learn by doing. Let's give it a try. License board tutorial. Licenses have been added to the party menu. I'd say you're ready to hunt that mark for me. Oh, you'll be needing this to leave the city. Just show it to the watch at the gate. You obtain a writ of transit. The east gate's the one you'll want to head out. Once you've taken care of that mark for me, let me know. Your work won't go unrewarded. Rogue tomato. Let's do it. Try equipping the Orachea armlet. Orachea? I don't know. Use the licenses command in the party menu to obtain the accessories 1 license. Then use the equip command to equip it. Once you've chosen a license board, you won't be able to change it right away, so choose wisely. You'll be able to change them later in the game. What do you mean, repeat this message? Sure, it's fine. Oh, just repeat everything I read. I was like, you're gonna warn me again, like when I... Alright, it's fine. In order to use weapons, armor, and magics, you must first obtain the proper license. Learn the licenses that support your playstyle to create your own unique party. Yeah, so there was a thing, I remember from the time that I did play this, basically what it just said, but you would like get an item, or you'd know you're working to get an item, and it's like, ooh, I've got to go all the way through like the license board to get to the thing that lets me equip it. You must choose a license board in order to obtain licenses. There are 12 boards, each allowing you to develop a character with unique abilities. Once you can enter the clan hall, you can change boards there. That's interesting. Hold on. It's fine. This is different. I think this is the Zodiac thing, so they've changed this. Foebreaker, warriors who use mighty weapons to tear their foes asunder. Axes, hammers, they use wither, reduce enemy attack power. Time battle mage. Battle mages who wield crossbows and bend time to their will. Warriors who temper their bodies into deadly weapons. Stalwart warriors who wield sword and shield. Battle mages equally skilled with maces and magics. Warriors who snipe their foes with deadly precision. These guns. Ulan, warriors who wield spears to pierce enemy armor. Mages who wield healing and support magics. Warriors who fight nimbly across hill and dale. Oh, this is interesting. Swordmasters who devote themselves body and soul to their lords. So I do remember one thing. Mages who channel elemental forces into deadly magics. Shikari use daggers, and I remember we were able to steal a Gladius. I know the exact enemy. It's like a super rare steal, and I swear I sat there for like 30 minutes trying to steal it. But if we use daggers, where would the Gladius maybe be at? Mage, or is it Mage Masher? I thought it was Gladius. Need daggers for... Might be up this way. Yeah, Gladius, there it is. So going off of that, I think I want to do this. That's a small license board. We'll be able to change it later. Again, this is way different than, this is way different than what I had, back when I tried the original game in, like, 2006 or whatever. So what if I go here? Like, they use katanas. So they straight up don't get daggers right now. But we are able to change it, and it's something I will want to do. Okay. I'm just working on what I remember being good before, so we're gonna go with the Shikari, warriors who fight nimbly. I like that kind of style. I typically do prefer bigger swords and stuff, but I think this will be a good enough start. Libra's good. Yeah, Libra's always good. Ninja swords. Cool. Yeah, we'll go with Shikari. So we've selected it now. Now we'll come in here and we'll learn this with our, with 5 license points. We only have 6. But we've learned this, now we can equip the armlets. They forced you into a situation, too, where that's the only one you could have purchased. So they were smart to make sure you don't screw yourself over. Use the equip command to modify a character's equipment. Use optimize to automatically equip the best equipment available. I mean, I could... Wait a minute. Ooh, no spoilers. No spoilers, by the way, but I gotta ask... I'm just asking and thinking out loud. Is that a pedometer? 697. It totally is. I don't remember that being what that could be used for. I'm excited to find out. The world map lets you view places you have previously visited, purchase maps to see unexplored areas. Yep, that'll be good. Plan Primer. Chronicles your exploits. Read descriptions of the foes you have slain and uncover useful information to help in your future adventures. Oh, whoops. Once. Yep, and it's in the Easter Sand. The Esther Sand. We fought dire rats. Look at that adorable little rat with glowy eyes. Glowy hell eyes. Oh, and then we can read all the tutorials. Okay. That's good for now. I hear there's a mark in the Esther Sand. Of course the Imperials are too busy securing the city to worry over troubles beyond her walls. Have you seen how many guards they've stationed in the southern plaza? I suppose it makes sense that is where the city gates are. If you find yourself by Magello's, you should take a look. Not every day you see that many Imperials in one place. Interesting that the... Oh. Left bumper speeds up time. Got it. Hey Vaughn, something I can help you with? No thanks. You'll never find that rogue tomatoes standing around here. The Imperials have started locking down the gates for the parade, but you ought to be able to get out if you show them that writ I gave you. Just talk to the watch by the East Gate in the Southern Plaza. You shouldn't have any trouble. A parade to install this new console? Fee. They're just looking for an excuse to flaunt their might. Well, let the fools strut, I say. I heard you could still leave the city through the East Gate, but when I tried to pass, I was turned away. Turns out they're only letting people through on business for the feet. Would it kill them to bend the rules? I hope they didn't hear that. Feet pics? What? The feet? I'm sorry, but the balcony's reserved for members of the Imperial Watch, or so they've decided at least. They're nothing more than 2-bit sellswords if you ask me. Who gave you leave to come up here, boy? The balcony's reserved for the Imperial Watch, you hear? Should be most of the people. Oh, I thought that was like a basketball or something. It was a Moogle thing. And you, how are you, Vaughn? That creature in the desert has us chasing after supplies from dawn till dusk. Someone better do something and quick. Cool. Yeah, so, Papa, I talked about this a little bit. I'll reiterate. The quick version is I borrowed this game back in high school. And I played it a bunch, but I didn't really get far. I just grinded a bunch. And I got to like a really, really high level. And I had a lot of fun with it, but because I was borrowing it from a friend, I returned it. So I never actually got more than... I don't know, I would say probably 5 hours into the story. At a point I said, alright, I'm gonna progress with the story now. But then it was also like, I've been borrowing this game for like a month, or I think like 2 months. It's like, I should give it back.
You there, let's see some papers, boy. No public passage on account of the Lord Consul's parade.
Oh, gee, that's too bad. You see, it just so happens that your provisioner for the fete tonight, he sent me to pick up a few choice morsels for the, Consul's dining pleasure. He wants them quick. I got the writ of transit right here. You see? Signed. Magello. I just hate to see the Consul upset because his food wasn't ready on time. And I sure hate to see him take it out on you.
The Lord Consul is a great man, and not one to take offense in such trifling matters. Move along, boy. Wouldn't do to keep the Consul waiting. Right. Gates are closed after this.
They just start mean mugging that dude, huh? Oh, we got all the dialogue. Your eye's not working, boy. You want to pass, you queue up with everyone else. Any arguments, speak to the guard at the back of the queue. Once the gates close, they'll not be letting anyone through, no exceptions. I'm getting in while the getting's good. You trying to push in? Best be rethinking that move, mate. You want inside, you get in line behind me, understand? Not many more people coming along now. Once we get this lot taken care of, that should just about do it, I'd say. What about you, looking to get inside? No thanks. Your eye's not working, boy? Oh, same thing, okay. They're inspecting everyone before letting people through. You're gonna have to stand in line if you want in, not that the line is moving. Not many more people coming along. No, blah, 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 blah. Okay. The inspection line's grown a good deal shorter, and hardly anyone's leaving the city now. I imagine these people will be the last through. I suppose I should be heading in myself. Wouldn't do to be shut out here, would it? Can I pass through the gates till they finish going over my belongings? Risk life and limb crossing the desert to be treated like this. Bah! On your way out of the city, are you? There's a tomato beastie running amok on a bluff close by. Don't get yourself into nay bothered, you hear? That accent is so weird for me. I have a hard time understanding it. My companion and I arrived together, but they singled out my goods for inspection. I've been held up here all day. You came from the city, yes? Did a Banga merchant happen to give you an item to deliver? Yeah, here it is. No, none of this is right. You have me confused with someone else, boy. Okay. You know what that means. Oh, I could have 200 saves? You know we're doing it. We actually wait? Oh, I was like, what's this man doing pushing me out of line? I wanted to go talk to the merchants. See if I could deliver that. Let's go look for, let's just check the shops real quick. Or any other Banga guy out here. I don't know. Oh, it's a merchant. I made it in from the XII just before they closed the gates, but my friend was stopped before he could get through. Could you take him something for me? Sure, no problem. Excellent, you should find him just outside the east gate, a Banga like myself. And don't go selling that to pocket the gil for yourself, you hear? You obtain a small package. I already had a small package. Get it? Right through. Hey, dude. Well, what do you know? My thanks, boy. Help me out of a tight spot you have. Heading into the desert, are you? Best watch yourself out there. Get into any fights, just be sure to keep well healed, hear me? Mind your wounds or the next blow you take could be your last. Have myself caught by the tail a time or two out there, let me tell you. I had no idea they'd be closing the gates. I was worried we may not make it into the city, but it looks like we've arrived just in time. Well, you better go get in line. They've closed the Chocobo stables for the day on account of the consul's arrival. Speaking of which, shouldn't the ceremony be starting soon? I wonder if we can still get back in the city, or have they closed the gates? Ich weiß nicht. Oh, I'm gonna abuse that speed up. It's on the controller. That's so convenient. This is super like the Final Fantasy 13 part, where, spoiler alert, I guess, when you go to Pulse. That reminds me of that, where you just see like one creature chasing other ones, like it tries to portray this like wilderness feel. Alright, what did I want to check? Oh, right. Okay, I don't know how to check it, it's fine. You are sleeping, so I can come attack you. Get bopped. Cactus fruit. So, I don't remember all the mechanics right now, and I'll figure them out as I go, of course. But, see, I have a 2-chain. And if I kill this third cactite, I'll have 3-chain, and so on. There were benefits to, like, chaining enemies. I think it's better loot, maybe experience, maybe license points. 10 experience, 1 license point. So I remember when I was grinding here, I had like routes that I had came up with to maximize my chain bonuses on enemies that were most beneficial. You obtain a potion. So exactly what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to run past this guy. And I saw another cactite, so let's go for it. Just be somewhat efficient for these first few. Ooh, cactus fruit. Yeah, I thought so. I'll figure things out as I go. When I say that, I'm just like, I'm thinking aloud. That's all. Yeah, I remember that guy. Bop this one. I do remember liking just grinding these cactites early on. I need to check if they started me with... No, they didn't. We have potions, but they didn't... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I don't have the magic stuff. A cockatrice, that's a problem. It's up on that ledge. So... I don't want to fight the T-Rex looking thing. I can tell you that. You're not really supposed to want... Or, well, maybe you're supposed to want to fight it, but you're not really supposed to fight it right now. It's here to kind of make it feel more like an ecosystem, I would say. So, like, there's different tiers of creatures out here and stuff. But you're definitely not really intended to be fighting it until later. But there are ways you can beat it pretty early on, and you know I'll be doing that. Okay, I'm gonna go after the, what are they called? Wolf? Yeah, I'm gonna go after the wolves. The wolves. The tomatoes out. Yeah. I thought that's where it was. But we have to kill things. There's experience and stuff. Yeah. There's things you can do to make it pretty easy to kill, but... Well... The way I would put it is, it's easy to kill, but it's still risky. Or it could still, like, one-shot you, but you're able to also kind of one-shot it. And that becomes a really effective way to grind. Oh, I just noticed I commented earlier how we started at level 3. We are now at level 1 here with Vaughn. One thing I do remember about the system, and part of what motivated me to grind as much as I did before, is that characters come in at like whatever your level is. So if I got up to like level 99 right now, every character would also start at 99. But whatever level they come into your party at, they, like, that's their level. I don't think they follow you behind, like, you know, you'll have people coming in and out of your party. They don't just level up with you. Unless they're in the party. Do we don't see levels, no, okay. That's what Libra's for. I think that T-Rex thing is like 25 or something. 20. So we've got a few license points. I know we can't change it, but... yeah, okay. Just wanted to see what happened. So we can go for like... what do I want? Yeah, I probably want to go this way. So we'll go for Martyr and then get that extra health. Do that early on. I really don't want to get that thing mad at me, but I want to hit the wolf. What's it called? Saurian. Wild Saurian. Just use Cannibalize. That's what it said. I think it was gonna go fight one of those, that wolf or something. Let's not get on its bad side. So I do find it interesting how a lot of stats and things are locked behind the license board, while also, like, you have levels. Like normal level ups and stuff. We can probably make it through this fight, then I gotta heal. Oh, I thought it was dead. Well, now I definitely want to heal. Don't walk this way, punk. Don't do it. Yeah, I just remember really liking this battle system. Like, it's very simple right now. It gets very interesting, but what I like about it is it just feels like an MMO. It legit is like, hey, you know how we made Final Fantasy XI? What if we made that a single-player RPG? I need more wolves. There we are. Let's get a good chain going on wolves real quick. Yeah, it's chain level. I vaguely remembered that, and I was gonna comment on it earlier. I was thinking, like, I think there's chain levels, and I was expecting it to happen at 10, and it didn't. Now that I'm remembering, I think it's kind of random. What I seem to remember now is that it's kind of random, and you just, like, kind of... sometimes you get chain levels earlier than others. Windstone and a potion. Oh yeah, see, that's what I like when enemies that you're farming or whatever drop healing items. Because it means you can just farm them indefinitely as long as you get those. I don't know where the Saurian went. He must... yeah, there he is. Draw distance is bad. They didn't really change it from the original release. Hey, there's a wolf. I'll take on that tomato eventually. So this is also a good source of money, right? You sell, like, I just got wolf pelts, I'm getting all these different items. It's a good source of money. Still want to make that boy mad. I want to find more wolves. Where they is. Yeah, so again, with the way I grinded, that was a thing that really came into play. I think there's only like 3. I think it just goes up to like a gold or something. Let's get a better chain level. Let's find out. This was the first... Like, this is the first real section you get to go out, and I grinded for a little bit, and I went back to the city, did a couple other things. Things open up a little bit more, and then it's like really good. Like, you can go to all kinds of areas, even though you're still at the start of the game. Like, things open up really nicely. I'm not ready yet. It heals 120, so I don't need to heal quite yet. Yeah, and if you were noticing, a lot of these enemies are now dropping 2 items. So the chain level, it's definitely giving better drops already. A file of eye drops. That's an interesting spelling, file. Is that always, I mean, it seems right. But there's also vial with a V. Not V-I-L-E, though. He's coming this way. Oh, he kind of was. Yeah, let's drag him this way a little bit. MMO train. What was my watch? Oh, my watch tells me it's time to move, time to work out. I feel like... Oh, yep. The Saurian ate that wolf, and now it says he grows stronger. So that's the thing. He does cannibalize, that happens. I think he actually just straight up gains levels. If you like Libra him. Like when that happens. Wolf Pelt and Windstone. Two wolf pelts and 2 windstones. Damn. Come on, can we get another level? Another chain level. Alright, licenses. We have enough now. Could do Libra, of course, but I'm gonna do Martyr and then go over here. Actually, here's a good test. Does it do diagonals? It does not. Okay. Alright, so we can get another 20, another 16 points. I can get some more health. And a good test is going to be what happens to my health when I increase the max health. Bop this dude. Yeah, I'm definitely going for the next chain level just to see what happens. I think it maxes out at 99 chain, if I remember correctly, because I know I did it a bunch. I know I did it a lot, actually. Come on, wolf. Yeah, just give him some time to respawn. Let's go way back here. But let's not fight the cockatrice. Yeah, so let's not go way back there. I just don't want to leave the map want to stay here. Yeah, once I'll probably get that next license thing for the extra health, and then I'll go ahead and take on the tomato. But before I do that, I'll head back over to that save crystal for free healing. Okay, so make sure I'm remotely safe. Two windstones, good. Are you safe? Yeah, okay. I think I know how it works. Red health bars are hostile. I think that's how it works. Well, his is not red. Never mind. 'Cause I think he is hostile. Maybe not. Where, oh, where might these wolves be? I'm just glad I don't have to follow a guide for that stupid weapon. Because, like, as much as I want to just know nothing about the game as I play it, I was like, I'm not, like, I didn't want to be ripped off on a weapon because I opened the wrong treasure chests. I don't know if you know about this, Papa. That was a thing in the original game. It was like the ultimate weapon, basically. And there were a couple ways of getting it. Like, you could get extra copies of it, but basically the way to get it, guaranteed, without having, like, bad percentages and random numbers, was literally don't open certain treasure chests throughout the game. And they're not marked, like, there's no way for you to know as, like, a new player, oh, don't open that. You just have to know. If you open those treasure chests, the one that guarantees spawns and gives you the weapon doesn't show up. They changed that in this version. Because I was literally going to pull up a guide, and it's like, I want to be blind, I want to know nothing about the game except for the treasure chests. And basically it was like, the way you get it if you messed that up is there was a, there's a cave, and the cave still has it, by the way. It's this is still a thing, and it's how you can get multiple copies. Back then it was a 0.1% chance of a, of the weapon showing up. Or no, of the treasure chest showing up and having the weapon. And so I know they fixed that for this version. Now it's a 1% chance, I was reading. And then there's like another way to get one as well, but it's brutal. How's it going, Phantom Knight? How did I miss you? Just a potion, though. Yeah, that was one of the most notorious things about the original game. I remember, you know, when I was playing the game, and I'd spent all that time grinding, I was like level 70 or whatever, and then I read that, and I was like, oh, so let's see what treasure chests I can't open. And of course it was one of the ones that I already opened. Well, there's like a handful of them, and of course one of the ones I already opened was in that list. So I was just like, alright, I guess I'm not getting that, because I'm not doing all that grinding again. You know, I'd really like some more wolves to spawn. Where are you guys at? The Saurian go ham on everybody? What's up? Oh, it's definitely down here. Just wanted a couple more. Yeah, I do remember that being a thing. Where you can kind of... I guess, I don't know if overfarm is the word, but I do remember that vaguely being a thing. Let's go through here. Yeah. Chocobos. Are you stuck here too? I came from the village up ahead and now I can't get back. Don't worry about him. He won't bite or nothing. He's practically family. Cute, huh? Hi there. Name's Dantro. I'm on watch here. You come hoping to go to Nalbina? Or Nalbina? Sorry to tell you, but the road's not open. Hey, don't blame me. You're not the only one put out by it either. I've been waiting forever for my replacement to come. Pretty hot, huh? 100 gil if you want to rest. Nope. If you need to get in out of the sun, let me know. Hunting the rogue tomato. Well, well, looks like we have a fledgling clan member, am I right? But you missed the mark, so to speak. The mark you're after is in the stepping, back the way you came. Go and give it another look, eh? That's my chocobo just over there. He has a fondness for shiny things. Buries everything it can get its beak on. The most recent victim? All the gil I made in Rabanastre. And now they've got the road to the Nebra blocked off. This just isn't my day. Oh, we talked to Dantro, yeah. Like, this seems familiar, but... Desert Wayfarer. My father said he didn't mind paying, but maybe I ought to pitch in a little too. Chocobos don't come cheap, and with all these delays, I hope he can afford it. Yeah, they got it blocked off, because we can get through here later. I hired a chocobo, but for what? They got the whole blasted desert blocked off. They don't got this treasure chest blocked off. Firefly. 3 gil. Oh, I know. Okay. Let's walk back here. Let me get it. 5 gil. So 11, 12. What are we looking at? Oh, I see it. I was looking for another gil thing. Give him his money back, or we just take the money? Okay. Unless there's still more. That's fine, though. This guy's cool. Look at him. Like him. Alright, back in here now. Now, I want to confirm something. This is the first confirmation. There's other things I want to confirm related to it, though. Right. No, I remember that. You gotta go away like 2 screens to make things respawn. That's right. Well, treasure chests are 1 screen, that's right, but enemies. Let's bop a cacti, let's see what happens. Let me confirm the other thing. Not really sure. I'll find out over time. Pop a couple cactuses, then I'll take the tomato on. For real, for real. Level up. I was hoping for that. We still need 9 more license points. Where's the Saurian at? Get away from me. Oh, they do defend each other. That's nice. I do like seeing that. Did I need to? Probably not, but potions are easy to come across. Wolves drop them. I'll be fighting plenty of wolves. Yeah, look at that. Yet another potion. They're really easy to come across. Just a little bit. I like that. I like when basic healing items are easy to get, so I don't have to go buy them. It makes my job of grinding easier. Speaking of, yeah, we could just totally hit the left bumper and we're faster. That's amazing. That's way more convenient than 10 and 10-2 having to press F1. Who wants to have to reach to the keyboard and press a button? Nope. I was a little nervous. Cactites are not back right now, so that's my cue to go ahead. I'm gonna go to the save crystal, finish this loop, and I'm gonna go to the save crystal, and we'll come back out here, take care of the tomato. I saw 2 red dots, but it's over there where the cockatrice was at. Oh, we've already got like points and stuff too. That's nice. So we have 15 license points. We need 20 for that health upgrade I was looking at. I was eyeballing. We need 40 for the next health upgrade. I do be eyeballing stuff early, so I know what stats I want and all that. You know what though? Before we try the tomato, part of the reason I wanted to do that. We haven't actually fought a cockatrice yet, and of course fighting 2 at once is even better, right? Okay. That's not too bad, is it? We got back here. Cockatrices can traditionally stone, I think. Sounds right. When I say it out loud, it doesn't, but in my brain, it feels right. But I don't remember these being able to do that. It's too early. But the problem with these is that you can't really grind them very effectively because you don't get... I mean, you can, but there's not a lot of them, so you don't get, like, good chain bonuses. We got another cactite down there. Alright, let's go check out the rogue tomato. Oh, we're gonna whoop its ass. And then this is the game gonna be like, now here's the Saurian? I don't remember, but that'd be a good way to do it. Because it's moving you closer to it. Rogue Tomato vanquished. It's like a better version of Monster Hunter.
Galbana lilies? Never thought I'd see him growing out here. Ugh.
Get an achievement, Galbana Bloom.
Time to call it a day.
No, but what if I could grind more? You obtained a handful of Galbana lilies. Yeah, it's like, but what if there were cactites over here that I could kill? That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, we bopped that dude. Almost killed him. Hey, okay, I confirmed something good. Yeah. Not gonna fully describe it yet, but I did confirm something. I have enough license points. Wait, what's his art on the screen? Look at his little sprite art there on the license board. I like it. You know, that's interesting. We have Firefly. What is it? Well, I mean, it'll let me look at it, right? Yeah. Better strength and magic, but lower defense. Oh. Reduces experience earned to 0. Okay. Yeah, I'm not putting that on anytime. I want my experience going up as much as possible. I want to... Okay, wait, let me check one thing. What's my health at? 95? And it's still at 95. Okay, so that's another thing I wanted to confirm. It's not a game... Like, you don't get that health. It's just your max. You stay where you're at. I don't like when games do that, but it's pretty common. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I want an accessory that says, like, every enemy you kill gives you, like, 10,000 experience and license points. That's the accessory I want, not one that says you don't get any experience. Alright, we pretty much hunted this place, picked it clean. Once we unlock a couple other things in the future, we could take on that Saurian. But we're not there yet. This is an outrage. I thought we'd make it in time, but yeah. Close the gates too early. I just don't see why they won't let me through. I'm a citizen, same as anyone else, aren't I? So just as they're finishing their inspection, what do I see but the gates closing before my very eyes? A wee bit dodgy, wouldn't you say? Kites! Ah, Vaughn, I guess I'm not the only one who got locked out of the city. I told Pinello about the mark you were going after, and I guess I got her worrying, so the two of us headed out here to find you. As soon as I stepped out, the guards closed the gates and things got crazy. I haven't been able to find her since.
This gate's closed until the ceremony's over, do you hear?
Now what?
Open the gate! Alright, out the way.
Wait a second. How come you let these chocobos through the gate and not us?
What of it? This here's a pedigreed parader, boy. Cost tens of thousands of gil, this one did. A prettier price than 100 of you provincials would fetch. Keep your distance. We don't want the chocobo sticking a peasant.
What'd you say?
Step aside. Right then, move them in.
Oh.
Dang.
That does it.
Oh, a fine chocobo you have there. Yes, cedar down stock, if I'm not mistaken. Change the soil, change the chocobo, am I right? Yes, different soil means different bouquet, too. Take a Dalmascan Barreau's wine, eh? It may lack the flavor and depth of some of your Arcadian wines, but it has a certain strength of character. It's not bad, really, once you get used to it. Care for some, sirs? There's more than enough for all to cool their throats, of course.
You let these carts through and closest gate is ordered. My mail's choked with this sand.
Look at you getting us through.
Don't give me a scare like that. You're lucky that ended where it did.
Right.
Good on you,
Now's our
Miguelo.
chance to go through.
The ceremony will be starting soon. I'd best be hurrying.
Okay, well... Vaughn, wait! What is it? Vaughn!
Oh, we got a movie? You know it's legit. He just runs alongside it. What the hell?
We will have order. I give you your new consul, His Imperial Highness Lord Vane Solidor, Commandant of the Arcadian Empire's Western on... Your Excellency. Huh? He's coming into the crowd. Look.
People of Rabanastre, is it with hatred you look upon your consul? With hatred you look upon the Empire?
Spit on your empire! Strike back to Arcadia!
There was little point in asking. But know this, I harbor no idle hopes of frustrating that hatred. Nor shall I ask your fealty. That is the due of your fallen king, and rightly so. King Ramanas loved his people, strove to bring you peace. His was a rule worthy of your devotion. Even now, he remains among you, protecting you. His ardor for the peace and weal of Dalmasca falters not. I would ask only that you do your king honor. Together let us embrace the peace His Majesty would surely desire. 2 years now divide us from war's bitter end, yet still its shadow looms over all, stifling the infant peace a pall only you may cast off. Achieve but this one thing, and your hatred of me and of the Empire will grieve me not. I will stand fast. I will endure.
That man's like, I respect the hustle.
Your slings and arrows. I will defend Dalmasca. Here I will pay my debt. I swear it now. Though King Ramanas and Lady Ash be gone, they stand ever at the side of their people. In honoring peace, you do honor to their memory and to Dalmasca. What I ask plain. My hopes now rest with you.
Dang, he really just won him over that quick? Not a bad speech, but damn.
Is Rabanasta to your liking, my lord?
It is magnificent. Take this cathedral, for instance. Elegant, yet whimsical in its execution. A stunning example of Galtean architecture. I hope Lord Gramus might one day look upon it himself.
Oh, remember the last one? We're all like this. The patron of this evening's banquet, may it please your excellency.
I am Miguelo, your highness. It is truly a profound honor to make the acquaintance of our future emperor, highness. The people of Rabanasta join me in welcoming
That's
you.
enough of highness. Though indeed I am our emperor's son, I am no prince. Arcadia's emperor is freely chosen by her people. I am but an elected official and nothing more.
I meant no disrespect.
Now that I think on it, I would not have you address me as Lord Consul, for that matter.
No?
Henceforth, I am a citizen of Rabanasta. Why don't you call me Vane?
I could not. That would not be right.
You are overly fond of formalities. I've just the remedy for that. Tonight you will join me, and we shall drink until you call me by name.
It's charismatic, okay. Alright, Papa, thanks for hanging out and everything. Hope you have a good one.
How can he stand about to him like that?
Vaughn, you just do not get it, do you? He's not doing it because he wants to.
Lord Vane never did.
You know what would happen if he didn't.
I know, it's just...
So, what would you do different?
I don't know. Well... I'd do something.
Very charismatic,
Vaughn.
I would say.
Vaughn,
Miguelo's
you haven't heard a
interesting.
single word I've said, have you? This place has changed so much. It's like it's not even Rabanasta anymore. Like the Empire is swallowing it whole.
Hey, Penelo, that fete tonight. You think they'll let us in?
Are you crazy? It's in the palace, and we don't have an invitation if you hadn't noticed.
So, how are we getting in?
As if I'd know. Why not ask Miguelo to get you in? Or go see old Dallin in Lowtown? Why the sudden interest, Vaughn?
I told you, I'm going to take back what's ours. Give back to Dalmasca. Come on, what do you think? If I find something, and it fetches a good price, how about I buy you all dinner?
Oh, please. You know as well as I do the first thing you'd buy is an airship. All hail Vaughn, sky part of Dalmasca. It's got a nice ring to it. Stay out of trouble.
An airship. I don't know. Maybe, but not through Miguelo. Time to pay old Dallin a visit.
Okay. Wait, we got more? Comment on Miguelo a little bit. Oh, maybe that was it. You're now free to enter Lowtown and leave Rabanasta. Thing I was gonna comment on with Miguelo, find interesting, is I took it that he's like a big merchant guy or whatever, like he kind of runs that shop or whatever, but he's getting in with like this console and everything. Like this guy's obviously a big deal, and Miguelo kind of gets involved with that stuff. Again, I just took him as like, oh, he's a guy running a shop, but nah, he's doing all this big boy-ish. Listen, Cheryl, you get into trouble, do it proper, like make a name for yourself. I want the bounty on your head to be worth the trouble. Har. Alright, so we want to go this way. Check out this icon. We got a lot of things we could do. Guards are letting people into Lowtown again, but I still can't find the stairs. My map shows a stairway over by the Gambit shop, but I can't make head nor tail of it. That might be what this shop is, and that was a system I really liked when I did play this. I can never find my way to Lowtown when I need to. There should be a stairway somewhere. No one can find their way around the town they live in. The most important thing in a fight, a level head on your shoulders. Beasts great and small roam abroad. Be sure you know what you face before charging into battle. What the fuck is that kid doing? That new consul, he looks like some kind of general to me, which means he was probably involved in the attack on Nalbina. Why would they send someone like him to rule us? Yeah, he does look familiar, doesn't he? I didn't understand a word of that speech, but I'll get old Dallin to explain it to me. There's no one knows more than he does. The Empire wouldn't send someone like Vane just anywhere. No, this says something about Dalmasca's importance to the Empire. What a fancy sign. Yep, it is the Gambits. A mind without instruction can no more bear fruit than can a field without cultivation. We're not going to mess with this right now because we have no need to really, but we're going to look into it. Sorry, still getting the shop in order. It'll be a while yet, so you may want to try back later. Okay, yeah. Did I watch the parade? Does a forest watch the ocean? Parades are nothing to one travel in the way of the Gambit. Seek me out when the way of the Gambit is open to you. I will lead you down its path. Looks like you wandered into the Gambit shop by mistake, boy. A great tool for leading a party of adventurers, which I can't help but see you lack. See, with a good set of Gambits, you don't have to shout instructions left and right in a battle. First you need a party, though. Yep, they're teasing what it is. But we'll get to that. This is my first time in Yamora's. I was just getting an explanation about Gambits from this kid here. It's all about efficiency, he says. Yeah, we'll leave that alone for now. Until it's actually a thing that we can do. Most important, we already did that. Okay, let's go down this way. There were the Lowtown stairs, but let's go down this way and check the, I forget the name. Sandsea. Let's check for more, hunts. Vextura, that's a wolf, I think, yeah. Mutant wolf. Seek brave souls for slaying a fearsome beastie. My future rests on your swift response. My name is Ghastly. Seek me in the Sandsea Tavern. The bill's petitioner can be found at the following location. You must speak with the petitioner to formalize the contract. Yep, we is there. Oh, there is a, interesting. There is a legend. You? Yeah. Or no, Gatsley. You saw my bill? My bill to hunt Thextura? If you're looking for Gatsley, you found him. I own a shop over in the bazaar, but times have been tough, so I put in an order for some new goods, hoping to stir up some business. Put up everything I own as collateral against that shipment. Trouble is, this beastie in the Westersands has been attacking the caravans. As it happens, my goods are supposed to be arriving by way of Westersand, too. If this Thextura were to attack, what of my goods? Please, you must kill Thextura for me. Accept the hunt and I'll tell you where to find it. Now we're talking. Thextura stalks the Westersand in a region known as Galtea Downs. The caravan drivers said they were set upon along the cliff wall to your left as you leave the city via the west gate. I'm dependent on you. If our shop goes under, my wife and I will be turned out on the streets. I think this is the guy that gives you the Gladius. There's a big wolf, and I actually remember that going left. I do remember that. How? I don't know. So, are they gonna let me go there? Let's find out the hard way. We always do things the hard way. Well, almost. Miguelo's Sundries, newly refurbished and open for business. Everything's changed except our low prices. Don't the Imperials have better things to spend money on than parades? How about putting some meat in our stew pots for starters? Miguelo was really groveling at the ceremony. Embarrassing it was, yes, but you get the feeling he was only doing what he had to. There are times to wear your pride and times to swallow it. The trick is recognizing which is which. Is that Pinello? Miguelo's out getting ready for the fate. Do you think he'll really call the new consul by his first name? I think he'd sooner die. Welcome to Miguelo's Sundries. How might I be of service? So this is loot. Specifically... Yeah, we can make quick money. Oh, oops. That's fine. Wolf pelts are easy to get. I was looking at the price, not the inventory. Onion arrows and onion shot. Let's see, what is it you've got bubbling away in that head of yours? Maybe you're planning to sneak into the fate tonight, eh? Of course you aren't. Even you wouldn't do something as foolhardy as that. This console sounds a mite better than the last. Of course I won't believe it till I see it. Then we'll go through here, and we'll see what happens. There were too many guards at the parade. All those fat purses and no chance to swipe them. I feel like I was the one who was robbed. Are you the kid earlier who said you were going to try to... Like you were learning tricks from Vaughn? Cartographer's Guild. Would you like to buy a map, Kupal? That's expensive. Dang. A fine purchase, Kupal. You won't regret it. Mughals honor. You obtained a map of the Dalmasca Easter Sand. And now we'll do Giza Plains as well. Giza Plains is where the werewolves are at, I think. It's made all that money. Might as well spend it, right? Interesting. If you're headed out west, take care. The Wester Sand is not so forgiving as the Easter Sand. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the creatures lurking out there show up as marks. Keep your guard up, even near the city. You know what? There's a save crystal out here, though. We're fine. I don't know how hard Dexterra is going to hit, but we'll find out. A group of travelers heading back to the Arcades by way of the aerodrome kept glancing over at me as though they'd never seen a banga. Bah! Sure, I had heard the Empire wasn't known for its tolerance of others, but hearing's one thing and feeling it firsthand another. Arcadian citizens are guests only inside the aerodrome today. Sorry, but I'll have to ask you to leave. Womp womp. They've closed the aerodrome today to all but Arcadian citizens returning home. Does it bother me? Ha! After 2 years of this treatment, I've grown more than accustomed to it. The Dalmasca Wester Sand can be harsh, boy. Get a good sandstorm stirred up and you can't hardly see your hand in front of your face. What's worse, elementals favor the storms, and you don't want to tangle with one of those, so be sure to mind the weather before heading out. You ever seen a chocobo in person before? One of the best ways to get around, if you ask me. Yes, my boy, a chocobo between your legs and... Wait, you're not from Arcadia. I've been wasting my carefully crafted chocobo speech on a fellow Dalmascan. Well, since I've already started... You can only ride a chocobo for a fixed time, then it'll force you off. Chocobos can also sprint, but only in short bursts. But no explanation can take the place of riding for yourself. That Moogle hovering just over there runs those stables. So what do you think? I think I'm going to save and go steal a Gladius on my first attempt. Almost exactly 2 hours. No. Wouldn't that have been nice? Are we up? We've broken 10,000 steps. Cool. See, this is what I like, because I don't know, even if the time I played this game before, if the pedometer was in the game, and if so, what it did. And I love not knowing that, right? I love just being like, you know, even though I have played a little bit of this game before, I don't know some things. And it's cool not knowing. I remember this song. Dang. It's cool. So yeah, there are the elementals like they warned us about. I don't remember how bad they are, I just remember I think they were kind of bad. That would be Thextera. Come on. Alright, we gotta go for the little ones first. Oh, yeah, he hits hard. Why are you gonna hit me 4 times, bro? Yeah, I'm not ready for Thextera. Why aren't we attacking? So I want to find out what happens if I die. So I know I could do this to try to run, but... Flee! Oh wait, it actually did. Watch this. Steal, Thextera. Give me a Gladius. It's just game over, right? Yeah, but does it do like Final Fantasy X and be like, here's your autosave? No. Okay, good. See, that's why we check these things. Actually, yeah, the autosave came in right after. So it's screen transition autosaves like 10. It's not stormy this time, is it? So Thextera is a no-go for a bit. But I'm pretty sure that's what gives me the Gladius. But I might be sitting there trying to steal it for 30 minutes. So the cool thing is, this should link up, I think, down here to the Easter Sands. It also links up to the Giza Plains. We can just go through like all these locations. What's up, Wolf? About to get offed up. I was like, I didn't mind selling all those pelts and stuff off. It got me a little bit of quick money. And then it's like, okay, but now I can just kill more wolves. And again, if you're watching, please don't tell me any further information on this. I'm speculating. I don't remember or know if If the loot items are used for other things, they may be used for quests or something, I don't know. Or they may just be sellable. I'll figure that out on my own. Just me speculating, thinking aloud. I do consider that spoilers. Where are we at now? Cockatrices. 3 gil. That was lame. Oh, I remember fighting like a... Oh, wait, is that it? No, is this a bad hit? No, it's a strong cockatrice. Got it. Hmm. Alright, I might just let it kill me. Yeah, let's let it kill me. That's a strong boy. And then let's confirm the autosave. Yep, it did move me. But we probably almost certainly lost my chain with the wolves. I don't know, maybe autosave keeps that. We'll find out right now, huh? Fancy. Yeah, we lost it. That's okay. So where was that at? That was the up. Okay, we'll go left this time. See, this is where having magic would be useful, because magic regenerates. So you could use cure and then walk around, fight some things, and your magic is regenerating. And then you can cure again next time you need it. Or you just get chunky enough and none of that matters. Just bop things. Do all 4 hits. Nope. Block. Oh, or not. We didn't need it. Alright, what do we have over here? New section. Western Sand, okay, yeah. These lead to other places, but it's not really saying where yet. The Western Divide. Oh, I forgot about these guys. I can't get Libra yet. I need 1 more to get Libra? Oh no, I need 11 more. I know what red spiral is. stamp, Phoenix lore. Oh, white magic. We can get some. Okay, hold on. A 1,000 needles. That's interesting. Ribbon is always good. Alright, I might have missed what I was looking for. Or it's not showing up right now. I want to know where some of these other screens lead. Hey, I see them wolves. Yo, XII looking ass. Oh, that thing's got protect on. Can it not come after me? Oh, snap. I'm about to die already. Oh, no. Yeah. Dang. Alright, we're gonna go back to the Easter Sand. Because I'm not done doing stuff yet. We're just... oof. I was originally gonna, like, just bust through here and check out some of the places, how they link up with each other, but... yeah. I thought it would be tough. I didn't remember. This is how we learn, right? We just try it out. See, but there's more to learn. Like, this is a cave or it's a dead end or something down here. Let's check it out. Yeah. Also, you don't get chain bonuses, but I wonder if dying resets all the spawns and you just use your autosave. You lose your chain bonus, but you keep all your experience and stuff. Wait a minute. Is this where the Gladius is at? Might not be Thextera. It might be... I think there's a wolf that spawns in here. I swear it was this screen. This is familiar. But it was like Dextera. It was a big wolf or something. Work on it. We'll figure it out, right? Yo, I forgot about those bird things. And the horse things, like, all this is coming back to me now. Oh, you're not gonna do 4? Okay, let's head to the Easter Sands now. Why is my phone vibrating? What random, like, notification am I getting that I don't care about? Right? I can't even see anything. Like, I get so many stupid notifications. Most of them I don't care about, but, like... Okay. Alright, we'll save up here just to be closer. I don't know. Put this right there. Now, before I kill anything, it's time to check out one of my theories. I'm gonna walk right up to the Saurian. Killing anything right now would basically be a waste if the Saurian kills me. So let's check it out. He has a yellow health bar. Don't use cannibalize. No, he's cool. Okay. He is cool until you hit him. Or until that happens. Which sucks, because I wanted that kill. Is he doing it? I thought he was doing it again. You know what? We're taking advantage of this speed button. No! Why? I want that. Level up. Yeah, I was like, I heard something make a weird noise. It was the cacti. Right? Who is gonna respawn for me? You. Thank you, Wolf C. There's like a way you can do this though. So like, the thing is, when you leave the areas, when you go, say, from here back to town, you lose your chain, right? But if you keep walking between like the correct areas, you can keep your chain, like in the Western Sands or whatever. So you can build up really good chain bonuses. And like I had a route before where I could get like 99 easily. I've caught myself a couple times. I was gonna say, when I was a kid, I mean, I wasn't... It was like late high school. This game came out in 2006. That was late high school. I graduated in 2007. Usually when I refer to a game, say like when I was a kid and played this, I really mean like, you know, 13 or under probably. Alright, well, I'm done with the wolves for now. Cactite time. Watch more wolves show up. Ah, I called it. Cactite. Committed to cactites for now, so we'll take care of them. Get that chain bonus. Earthstone. Earth. Or I like the way I say it in Star Ocean. Earth. U-R-T-H. Didn't actually mean to attack him, meant to loot. It's okay though. Chain level. Hopefully I can actually get more cactites. I can't use it from here, which is interesting, but I don't think you can open this menu in battle anyway. Licenses. We have 43. To get more health, I could start working towards the Gladius. Get Libra. A little fast forward icon goes away when I open the menus. It's nice. And the lack of cactites, however, is not nice. Leave me alone. I'm looking for cactites. We got a chain bonus. We gotta hit cactites. Y'all are the ones who decided not to spawn. I just remembered, I think you can get a... Ooh, it might actually be a hunt. Like flowering cactite or something. I might be thinking of something different. But it was a special variation. You know what? I might be right about where the Gladius was at. It might not be Thextera. What it might be is you go in and out of that screen until, like, a special wolf spawns. Because I'm starting to think about, like, if I'm correct, if there's, like, special variations, and it's like, yeah, you gotta get them to just spawn. You gotta get a lucky spawn. Assault Striker, achievement unlocked. What is that? Used attack 300 times. That's a spoiler. I mean, I think that's part of the story I played before, but Steam will be like, it shows you when you do Shift Tab, bring up the Steam overlay, it tells you your most recent achievement, and this is so close to like another achievement. And it just told me the description of it was like kind of a spoiler, but I think that's as far as I ever made it in the story. I think that's the place. And I'm like, why are you... Just gonna drop that, okay. I don't think it's terribly far, it's just how long am I gonna spend doing this stuff, right? Got another one there. Don't want to fight it. I see you. I think this is around where the flowering one would spawn. Like where we fought the tomato. Ooh. What a good neck pop. Cactites, maybe, maybe not. Alright, it might be time to switch back to wolves. Hang on. There, we got a cactite. Not worth fighting the cockatrices. I mean, I guess they're worth experience and stuff, but if we're going for chains and all that, not worth fighting them. Okay, I'm gonna just go for wolves again now. Let's say one's been spawning up here, been hanging out up here. Get away from that. I like how earlier I was mad because I got like a notification and it was actually one I care about. I was like, okay, I like what I just saw. By the way, I just thought it was fun to bring up. Because I was all mad, like, the thing is, it's all these apps and stuff, and they're a pain to disable notifications half the time. Or it's like, I want some, but you give me way too many. And it's hard to, like, filter them out. It's like, yeah, I get, for example, I get balance notifications for my bank, right? And it's like, I want that, but do I have to get them as frequently as I do? Mage Masher is always good. I think we might be able to go buy that. Now that I think about it. You know, I was going back to town anyway. Let's check the shop. Okay, this way. Sell off some goodies. Some weapons are good for range, some strike quickly. Find a weapon that suits your needs and stick with that. Welcome, welcome. I'll be closing the store early tonight. Special circumstances, you know. Should be quite an evening, yes? I have 25 of these. Sell 15. Sell 4 of those. 7 of these. Got some money. New bazaar good. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh. Now it makes sense. That was one of the tricks. That was why chains were so important. Because I think the more loot you sell, the more goodies you can get. And these are like really special goodies that you wouldn't normally be able to buy. Unassuming. So it's a potion pack, 2 potions. We'll buy it. Unassuming surcoat. Simple surcoat stitched from choice pieces of leather. Chromed leathers. That's the trick, and I think that's how we get mage mashers and stuff early. Can I equip that? I can. I just learned that. It gives me 1 more defense. Now I have an idea of what I need to do. Basically what I've been doing, but with like a better direction, right? Sell all my stuff. Go farm this stuff up a bit. Sell it all. Rinse and repeat. And eventually they'll give me better goodies, I think. Oh, we can teleport too. Forgot about that. To where? East, oh, we need teleport stones. Okay. Oh, I went to the wrong place. I went to Giza Plains. That's why I was like, why is this different? Right back at it. Let's save the cactites. My reasoning is, let's hunt wolves until they stop showing up, because they are aggressive, cactites are not. Right, so it makes more sense. I can just walk by cactites. I don't want to keep fleeing from wolves like I did earlier. The wolves messed with me though. They stopped spawning early and then they came back after I started fighting cactites. Punks. I don't need the map up for this. He's gonna cannibalize. Don't do it. I want it. Alright, cool. Why would it be called cannibalize though? Because cannibalism should be eating your own species, right? All these wolves though, damn. Keep them away from the Saurian. I thought I saw someone moving down there. I was like, that's a cool touch. They put little NPCs down there to reflect that there are actually supposed to be people down there. I know there's no wolves here, but treasure. And treasure. A phoenix down. That's good. Ish. Did you eat him? Where'd that wolf go? It didn't say that he used Cannibalize. I didn't see it pop up, but the wolf was gone. The reason I didn't go there immediately was because I was like, ooh, if I get close, it's probably going to be cannibalized. I feel like when you're able to kill the Saurian, that cannibalizing was good because it made them stronger and worth more, but I could be wrong. I think the Saurian's actually worth more than 1 license point. Chain level. Chain level. I still can't believe they put fast forward on the controller. Like, they just didn't have anything else to put on that button? Which is shocking to me. I kind of want to heal, but I'm not that hurt. Surprised that one didn't come fight. Level up. I haven't actually used Libra yet. Watch this. No? I thought I... Oh, maybe I misunderstand. Maybe it's just active. I'm confused. Maybe I forgot to unlock it. Maybe I unlocked other things. But you know, the fact that I've killed 24 wolves means I've got 24 license points since I've been in here. Let's take a look. What was I going to do next? We could go through shields. Shields 2. Do I even have shields 1? Where is it? Whatever. Alright, I have an idea. Instead of just burning license points right now, I'm going to hold them. Because it's not like these guys are really much of a threat. So if I hold my license points and then I go get really good equipment, I can say, okay, now I know what I need to be working toward, right? But if I burn them all right now, and then I go and new equipment pops up in the bazaar, I might be SOL JWF. Shit out of luck and jolly well fucked. As George Carlin said. Alright, so see, it looks like the wolves have stopped spawning, right? No, see that? I was gonna say, let's do another couple laps. Let's try to be really sure about this. So we don't get a repeat of last time. Maximize those chains, right? Oh, I was gonna try to avoid that, but it happened. Windstones is good. Oh shit, I think I know exactly how that stuff works now. I think it's coming back to me. The Mage Masher might actually be from selling a certain amount of Windstones. And what I mean, Windstones might, maybe not in particular, but something about that is ringing bells. the way I really do think it works now, again, don't spoil it yet, let me kind of keep working on figuring things out, but the way I'm thinking it works, what's ringing bells, is the idea that you have to sell certain numbers of certain items for these things to show up in the bazaar. So the Mage Masher might be like, sell 47, you know, whatever, sell some number of windstones, sell some number of this or that. I think that is how it works. Alright, I'm going in for the cactus now. The cactites. Broke a 28 chain. You wolves better not be showing up. Hope I can get a good level 2 chain early on these. Watch a wolf right there. No. Okay, good. Look at them just oh, it's sad. Look how adorable it was, like yawning and stuff. Made the other one mad. This is making grinding so much better than it was the first time, though. Was the time I did this before. Just how much faster I go because of this fast forward. Everything's so much faster. Until I start one-shotting it, this really is gonna speed things up. Even, like, just for this early phase. Then I'll start one-shotting it. Was that the chain level up, or, like, we just hit 10, but... No, now we leveled up, though. Perfect time to question that. See, the cactites don't seem to spawn as much as the wolves. I'm also feeling pretty comfortable about how I understand the health bars, though. The red health bars mean they're hostile, those yellowish ones, greenish ones mean they're neutral. That's why, I mean, granted I had just saved, but that's also why I just walked up to the Saurian, like, let's see what he does. And he does nothing. The cactites also fit with that mold. Look at it, it's adorable. I want one. I don't know what I would do with, like, a walking sentient cactus, but I want one. Make a good guard pet, right? That'd freak someone out. Wouldn't feel too good either. Come on, cactites. Why are you not spawning as much? I need the loot. Don't you understand? Hope one spawns right here. Nope. Check this little corner over here again. So, unfortunately, what I think happens is that this next screen down here that I'm about to walk into, where the chocobos were at and stuff, I think that breaks your chain. And what I'm not sure of right now is if we can even go through to the next screen yet. After that. Because it was blocked earlier, but it might not be blocked now. I don't really know. Still respectable. Another 20-ish enemies on a second chain. You know what? Don't break that quickly, because they could spawn deep in here. Okay. Alright, yeah, like, I think this breaks my chain, because it's not part of the dungeon. Which kind of sucks. But we can go through here now. And this takes us to... It's part of the Ester Sand. I've got another idea. Hold on. Let's confirm if it breaks the chain or not. I still have... If it doesn't, I still have a Cactite chain going on. And if that's the case... I just went an extra screen away, so they respawned. And... Nope, no chain. Okay. Good to know. That's how we learn, right? Sort of. It's one way that we learn. 48 license points, that's nice. I remember, I actually think I did emulate this game one time on PC. PlayStation emulator. And... I think I remember basically cheat engineering license points, but I still didn't get very far. But I remember like maxing out my license points. But it was the original version too. You're regular. I'm gonna go after the wolves. Because chain. This is considered Ester Sand still, and we can go all up through there. I remember there being something unique on this map. Unique enemy or something. It's just like the Saurian. The Saurian's a unique enemy, right? Oh, I think we could get like potion lore on the license board. And I think it makes potions more effective. Which is a good way of making them not go obsolete, because 120 is not a lot of health. Oh, don't go there. Don't go there yet. I really want to fight them. I want to keep... There's a lot of them, though. Leave me alone. Oh, they can help me. They're like a guard. One gill. Ooh, that man did 175 damage. I said, let me beef on him real quick. Oh, you're a special cactoid. Do I do it? No, let's keep going after wolves. Okay, where are we at? Yeah, this should not break the chain now. We can keep fighting wolves. And this is how we build up big boy chains. Yep. We ignore these. Welcome to Final Fantasy XII. I'm telling you though, this feels like an RPG from back then, from like the mid-2000s. Or, an MMO RPG. This feels like almost something like World of Warcraft in a way. I mean, you don't have a hotbar at the bottom with all your skills and stuff, but like the way we're walking around and the attacks and stuff are very simple. There's a lot of auto-attacking MMOs back then in particular. You would like auto-attack in a lot of MMOs, and then you would use your skills from your hotbar when they're ready. Can I open that? There we are. Makes up for that potion. I remember that. We can go down there. Yeah. This is definitely part of the route I remember. What am I getting now? Hold on one moment. Alright, sorry about that. What is this cave? I don't know if it's a cave, but it goes into a dead end, right? Oh, I know what that is. I do not want to go there. Oops, wrong button. I don't think anything bad would happen if I went over there per se, but I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the last place I went in the story when I played this game before, if it's what I think it is. Which is why I'm like, you know what, let's just not go there for now. Instead, however, let's go to this oasis looking spot. No. Get away from me. Wolves, on the other hand, y'all, I'm off with y'all. Bop all of y'all. Oh, there's an alpha wolf. You better not break my chain. You're still a wolf. Yeah, you're good. 22 experience. Alright, so now the trick here is we'll have walked 2 screens away from where the cactites and stuff are from. Yeah, from that other screen where the friendly guy was sitting there bopping wolves. We'll have gone 2 screens away from that. So then we can go back there, they'll all respawn perfectly. And then this place will be respawned. So I can just comfortably go back and forth between both areas. Farming these wolves. Is that a blue goo? No. XII. It's red. It also has a green health bar though, so I'm safe. It looked kind of like a blue goo from 7 Remake. I was like, I don't really remember blue goos too well from other games. But we all, you know, anyone who's played enough Final Fantasy knows that enemies are pretty common amongst the Final Fantasy games. What's this? So I'm getting a lot of things happening on the side. I see that alpha wolf. What? Bop yo ass too. Hey, we digging another chain. See? Told you I thought there was a gold. Drop me some good stuff. 3 windstones. I'll take it. Did we max out at 99? Because if so, that's a good point to break the chain. 4 windstones, damn. Oh, I got another, like I got a buff or something. There's another one of those spots that looks kind of like what I was thinking of. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to find out now. I don't want to risk breaking my chain. We're here to grind and stuff. We're not here to progress. A lightning fang. Good God, 4 wolf pelts. What's my inventory look like with this stuff? Oh, we still got a long way to go on wolf pelts and windstones. Good. Also, hang on. Status. Shell. Okay. It's not that great because it's magic and nothing's really using magic, but I'll still take it. How did I not pick this up? I swear I saw it earlier. I swear there's a wolf right by it. Oh. Okay, there might be a couple more I can find in here, but now is a good time to head back. We go 2 screens back. Yep. Fight any wolves we see on the way. But I don't think these are going to be guaranteed to keep spawning. The Unrelenting, I think it's probably because I got a 50 chain. Yeah, I got an achievement and I think it's from the chain. I swear that I just saw another wolf. Guess not. Or another something. Yeah, Mage Masher or something would be nice, though. And I think it is from, like, Windstones or something. Something about that just sounds right. I just remember these daggers and stuff in the early game carrying me. And then I got, like, a good katana. Kotetsu, I think, from the werewolves. The werewolves straight up dropped it, but it's super rare, I think. Or maybe you steal it from... I don't remember these things. I probably wouldn't have remembered the name of the katana, if that's even the right one, if we hadn't have... I saw it on the license board earlier, like the name was just there. If I hadn't seen it there, I probably wouldn't remember that much. But don't be stealing my kills, bitch. Oh my god. Don't be stealing my kills, you stupid bitch. I don't like you. You were cool at first. Now you're stealing my kills. I don't like you. Now protect, I'll take that. What kind of damage you want to do? It's still 5 damage. Protect is way better for fighting physical things, of course. I think this is where, like, the flowering cactuar, or cactoid, or cactite, whatever it is, if I'm even right about that, I think this is where it shows up as well. Alpha Wolf. Come at me, bro. Just don't come on me. Okay, so now I want to go up and up. Get away from those. Do want to fight the wolves, of course. That guy's gonna fight the cockatrice? I'm fine with that. He better not fight my wolves. That's fine. Let me hit wolf. Oh, you can fuck with that other one all you want. Cool. Kept my chain going. He did help me out a bit, but not in a detrimental way. Now, how do I get... Wait, I was in the right area. I was just looking at it. Oh, it's around this corner. Okay, good. Cool thing is, we know we've got, like, 100 license points. Yeah, 116 license points. Perfect to getting towards, some of those other weapons and stuff, right? We'll level up soon. There's 651 experience. Yeah, level ups do matter a lot on here. It's weird because, like, in Final Fantasy X, level ups mean nothing because it's just sphere points, right? It's sphere levels. They don't give you stats. But level ups here still give stats. They're still useful. These are 2 alpha wolves? No. I swear it was saying alpha wolf A and B, though. Alright, wolves. Wolves. You know we're going for 99. You know I won't be satisfied until I get there. I don't care about items at that point. I just want to hit the number for the sake of doing it. Oh, I think I remember the other thing. Because I was talking about the wolves, the werewolf guys. And how they would drop a katana or something. I think it's in the Giza Plains, and I think what you do is you chain them, but you have to go like 2 screens apart, but I had a route where I could chain them over and over. I see that alpha. Oh, no, he's not. Never mind. He looked larger. Camera's in like a perfect spot to see the chain bonus. That's nice. I haven't moved it since 7 Remake. I was thinking about setting it up last night when I just booted the game and stuff. I was really about to adjust it, but I was like, I don't know what it's going to look like with multiple party members and stuff. I don't remember how the whole UI works, so we'll just adjust it as needed. Because I would have had to get like further into the game and actually play. I was like, that's not what I want to be doing. I want to go into the playthrough still fresh. XII Remake, I straight up booted it up and played through a few minutes of the opening mission. I think I skipped all the movies, but straight up played through a few minutes of the opening mission just because, like, alright, I beat this game. I know what's up. 100%ed that game. What's a few minutes of the opening mission, which is the demo? 90 chain. Let's hope we can get some good fights here. I can probably just stay here, hit max. I think chain max is out at 99. But we gotta find out, right? We gotta actually get a 100th kill. Here's where that jackass was at. I thought so. Because this is over towards where the cockatrice were at, right? $96, we're almost there. Just gonna hold flee as I go through these places. I think they gave up. Was this 98? Yep. What if I get another achievement? I did not. I know the achievements don't show up on... Some games they get captured, some games they don't. But I capture all games the same way. So I don't know why that's the case. Monster Hunter was one of those rebellious games. A 100 chain, okay. Now it got interesting. I really thought it was going to cap there. Well, let's check the inventory. Loot. We need a few more wind stones, but we've maxed out on wolf pelts. So we just need a couple more wind stones, and then we'll be maxed out on them as well. I feel like that's a perfectly reasonable place to then go back to town. Will this cockatrice leave? Or is he just, is this his home now? No, he's going back. Yeah, so we should be maxed out. If I wasn't paying attention. Oops, I wasn't paying attention to which one I needed actually. We need one more windstone. Damn it. Get over here. Should be close to leveling up. Status 192. Yeah, we'll go until I level up. We'll keep fighting wolves until I level up. 192. That's like 10-ish. More than that. Okay, that's fine. Either way, it doesn't matter. The alphas are worth 22 each. Did you see that? It just poked me. That's what she said? I kind of want to swap to cockatrices now, and I probably should. There's a lot of them here. I probably should, because I guess it makes sense to build up a new chain. Let's do it. We had big numbers though, didn't we? Now the problem is though, there's more wolves than cockatrices. So as I go through here, I have to ignore more enemies. But I think it'd be cool to build up a quick little chain on cockatrices and get some... Because we got stuff we could sell at the bazaar, right? They drop new things like the feathers that we haven't been collecting. We'll heal up after this because it looks like we're going to need it. Firestone. Yo, y'all know they're getting Power Stone though? Hold up. Hold on. There we go. You know what? Back when I was streaming on Twitch before I took a break and then went to YouTube and all kinds of stuff, I had a follower goal. I was gonna do a hot pepper stream, and then things, you know, I got really burned out on a lot of things, and then things stagnated at the same time. Like growth was great, and then it slowed down, and probably because I was also burned out and I was trying to do too many things at once, both on and off stream. Kind of want to bring that back. You know, it's not all about just big numbers per se, but seems like it'd be fun to do. I don't think I've looked at this chest before because I've always ran past these. Got a chain level up. Take that. So they drop firestones and small feathers, huh? Nice. Open sesame. I don't want to get these guys up to a 3rd chain level though, just to say I've done it. And I mean, it helps me build up the rewards, the items. No, don't want to fight you. I wanted to like a few minutes ago, but not now. Leave me alone, wolf, down. Came and nipped my ass cheek. Did you see that? See, let me get a nip of that cheek there. I think there were cockatrices here. Yeah, there are. Okay, good. Just as easy to farm. But they're not as numerous, I don't think, as the wolves. But easy to go between the screens the same way. Oh, I don't have to... Okay. Being in a fight doesn't mean I can't get treasure. So a lot of times I've been ignoring treasure because I'd get into a fight and I was like, well, I don't want to kill them because of chains, but no, that's not a problem. Good to know. Cockatrice back. Nope. Could be one. I thought there was one over there. Maybe not. Maybe not. So we just went through here and there was a treasure chest and it's already back. So that's something I did confirm when I was looking up the treasure chest guide because I thought I needed it for that special weapon. What I did confirm was that going away one screen is enough to make treasure chests respawn. So they come back really quickly. Oh. So I don't automatically attack the other one. There are ways to do that. But I'm not going to automatically attack the next enemy. Which is definitely something I want to do. I don't want to think about it like when the enemy dies, I want to be fighting the next one. What do you mean pressing buttons? It's lame. You gonna come try and nip my ass cheek like that other one? I'm gonna let you do it, bitch. Far enough. Maybe not. Alright, I'm gonna need to heal. Alright, that wolf left. But now I'm in this mess. It's a good thing I get a lot of free potions from all this, right? Like the one I just picked up. We're looking at license point wise. Almost 200. It's pretty sexy. The problem is that sounds like a lot, but if you've been paying attention every time I open the license board, there's stuff in there that needs like 90, 100, whatever. There's a lot of stuff in there that needs a lot of that. Like a lot of things, even where I'm at in the license board, you might think, oh, but that's later in the game, right? Hold on, where am I? Yeah, this is not where I want to be. You might think, oh, but that's for later in the game, for end game stuff. It's actually not. Like a lot of that stuff that needs There's stuff like where we're already at in the license board that needs like 50-ish. So that's just a thing now. You got to build up a bunch of license points. There are ways to get more over time. Some enemies will give 2. I mean, you can get a little bit more, and I think you might get some for hunts. I don't remember. But we'll find out as we do more hunts and stuff. I want to hit that next chain level on the cockatrices. That's my only real goal at this point. I'm hoping it happens while we're out here, so I can go back through that other section, kill all the cockatrices there with a maxed out chain level, and then be done. What I assume is maxed out. I went over 100 on the other ones and didn't get another level, but maybe there is more. My new objective is off stream. I'm gonna get these wolves up to 666, assuming it counts that high. You never know if it might cap at a couple hundred or something. Could be a very arbitrary point where it just caps. He's trying to nip me. Don't do it. I won't let you do it, buddy. No, he did. He nipped my ass cheek. Hello, burbs. Where are you? Fine. Just go back to the other screen. I know they respawned. These are way harder to farm than wolves. Wolves just be spawning. Look at that. 3 right out the gate. Eye potion, nice. For that reason that treasure chests respawn and they're randomized, it can be like really low percentages and stuff for good stuff. Stuff for good stuff. But because of the way they work, it's actually a good idea to basically always loot them. I mean, to be fair, that's always the case. Who doesn't want free stuff? But the fact that you never know if it's going to be something really good, I would argue right now a high potion is really good. It probably heals for more than my max health. If a regular one's 120, what's a high potion? Oh, I already have another one. I didn't notice. It doesn't tell me the value, but the point stands that that's probably pretty good. For now. Of course, what's better is just being able to use magic. Because you can just walk around and restore magic. You never run out. Back at it again. I'm surprised these wolves are still so numerous here. Because we did farm this screen a few times. Cockatrices here seem to not really be respawning. Again, we're not moving 2 screens away. We're only moving 1 screen away. Because this is our midpoint. So going this one and the other one on the other side of that screen I just came from, they should be fully respawned every time. But the middle screen should eventually have been drained of wolves. But they're still pretty numerous. Care enough to stay there. Damn sure take that potion though. Why does holding right trigger matter for fleeing? Like, it puts your weapon away. I mean, maybe you move faster. It's the only guess I have is that you move faster. Another high potion. I'll take it. And I swear this guy didn't spawn last time when I was literally talking about treasure chests being random and stuff. Because I was looking around and I was like, am I lost? Starting to get a little bit demotivated towards getting the chain level and the cockatrices. I was hoping it would have already happened. It is random when it happens, kind of. Obviously, the longer you go, the more likely it is. Watch it happen now. Nope. The longer, like, the more enemies you kill, the higher the chain gets, the more likely it is to happen. I was like, damn. Fighting the cockatrices is not great. Why did I commit myself to it? I don't want to fight all y'all. Leave me alone. I got other things to fight. Yeah, I was like, I thought there was some over here. There's a lot of things that followed me a long way. MMO train! I don't know why the wolves were so keen on attacking me. It might have been an alpha affecting its behavior. Thought they would have given up. I would have stayed there to fight them if the wolves had given up. But we can go get them on the way back. Hey, we got it! 4 small feathers. That's what I've been waiting on. That's perfect now because we can go do one last sweep of the other screen, head back to town, sell off all our goodies and see what happens. What the fuck? Why were they waiting here? What the fuck? I didn't know that was a thing. Alright, will they ever give up? Run off somewhere else. I don't think they're going to. I think they're essentially traveling in a pack now. I think the alpha is affecting their behavior. Well, that's dumb. Only because I'm going after cockatrices. I'd love to have had that happen earlier when I was going after wolves. But alas, can't always get what we wish for, right? Let's go ahead and pop another potion, because Took a beating. And let's see what happens when we go back to town. Sell off all these goodies, right? Only 838 from another level, too. 40 feathers, 33 firestones. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. We could go after... You know what? Maybe we should. Ooh, don't go in there. Maybe we should go after the cactus enemies as well. Sorry. Nose is all... The side of my nose is all itchy. Problem is the cactus ones are going to suck just as much to fight as the cockatrices, because they aren't super common. I mean, look how much we just ran through. We didn't really find any. I know where one's going to be at. I know where some are at on the other screens. Let's just head this way. There's one over here, actually. I kind of forget that I'm in fast forward, to be honest. If this isn't just the normal speed. Because it doesn't feel that fast. It's like a 2x speed. Final Fantasy X likes to do that, 10 and 10-2 have 2x and 4x. Might as well kill these on the way out, because they have things I probably want to sell. The Earthstones and all. A potion. Sucks there's only one out here, because there's sometimes like 3 at this spot. See if there's one or two down this way. There are 2. Wait, did he steal? Because he was running. He started booking it. Y'all want to keep spawning, I'll keep taking you. Okay. Let's head into town, let's sell this stuff off, let's see if I get what I wanted. And then we'll see about these license points, because I got a lot of them. Well, a lot for right now. 214 is good, considering that we've done like next to 0 of the story. If this game had a percentage meter, I would love to see how it's going. This is gonna be a repeat of what I did all those years ago. Kind of. We only have to level up like 10 times where I'm at. I don't want to spoil things. Of course, I never do. But I'm also sitting here thinking like, we don't even have this, this, and that. You know, things that I did before. So we're not, like, we're so early. Hopefully that wasn't bad. Bizarre goods. Tale of the Phoenix. Not what I really wanted, but I'll take it. Okay. And then... Oh, you sell the Kotetsu. Kotetsu's not that sexy then. It's not what I was hoping. Licenses... Because we had a good katana one over this way, or... No... I don't know what it was, to be honest. I do know Gladius is way the hell over there. And it's like, I know I'm gonna go that way. So we might as well. I know I'm gonna want the daggers, of course. This is cheaper, so let's get it. We can actually go ahead and open up the path to the Gladius all the way. That's awesome. Most of that's useless for me right now, but hey, it's done, right? Alrighty. Progress. The thing is, I'm still weak, right? So it's like, I could go to the Western Sand, but I'm still weak. And I know I'm weak. I'm still having to heal a decent amount on these enemies out here. And this is the easier side. So I'm gonna focus on this side first. Keep getting a bit stronger, keep working on building up this stuff. And we'll do Western Sand next. What I think that's gonna mean for me right now, however, is that seems like a good enough place to end this session. I know not a lot's happened story-wise and stuff, but seems like a good enough place to end this session. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of farming of some things off stream, which will get me some levels and just build up chains on some of these different enemies. We're gonna go fight one of the cactoids, because it is different than the cactites here. I want to make sure it's not super crazy and different. I assume it's pretty much the same, and if it is, then I'll also build up some chains on them probably. What's up, Saurian? But first, take care of these cactites. Might as well. See, they got me an Earthstone. I don't know what I need to sell to get what items, which is why I'm doing it. Have 15,810 gil. It feels like a lot, considering I haven't really done anything yet. These loot items, man, they add up, don't they? Alright, there should be a cactoid directly to the right, so I'm gonna take it on. I really think there's a flowering cactoid alternative in here. No, you're another cactite. Game would troll me. Cactoids were in here as well. They had two little spherical things on their head. I know where I'm at. So if I hang a right out of this, I go back towards that the middleman screen I was doing earlier. There should be, yeah. We get away from these wolves. I wonder, does this cactoid also count for the same chain? Should, right? It does. Okay, I'll kind of farm various things here, and we'll do that as a between session kind of thing. The problem is, I want to be able to show me selling stuff and unlocking things, but I guess it's not the biggest deal. I want to basically be able to say like, oh hey look, I'm selling this and now we unlock these items. But I guess it's not the biggest deal in the world. Don't have to show every second, right? I almost said square second. I don't know why my brain was like, square inch! That doesn't really work here, does it? Should also be a much higher level when we get back, just by virtue of what I'll be doing. I'm just looking around for cactus enemies, and there's not very many of them. What the hell? Yeah, so what'll be nice about this is allowing me to do this off stream. Off video means I can just kind of put on a video in the background, put on a YouTube video, mindlessly grind. It'll be... That's the way I like to do things. Mindless grinding in the background. So, intermission this up. It's the name of this scene, by the way, is Intermission. Okay, so yeah, with that said, you still see me running around in the corner though. I do like that. I do like the way I got that set up finally. Actually, a little behind the scenes, a little bit of explanation on this. So, the games, like, they run in different resolutions sometime, right? Some games really kind of work better in windowed mode. And in that case, I usually just play them in 1080p if I'm going full windowed mode. But what would happen is, if I have a game running in 1080p windowed mode, windowed or not, it doesn't matter. If I have a game running in 1080p, and I like resize the game to fit that little box up there, or even on my main view, let's see, well, on this view, or on, you know, this view, any view, if I'm running like a 1080p game, and then I switch back to a 1440p game, like right now, it just completely resizes everything. And I found out there's a way to set like a scaling factor that stops it from resizing. But it thinks, oh, you switched resolutions, I'm gonna display it in a different, I'm gonna like shrink or enlarge the capture. And I'm like, no, don't do that. I sized them the way I wanted for a reason. But I finally, like, now that I finally got that, I really like it, because no matter what game I'm playing, I can just have it automatically show up here in the corner. I don't have to go in through all my scenes and change, you know, every single game capture I have, because I have like 4. I have full screen with the webcam, full screen without. The one that's an inverse of this with the small webcam and a medium-sized game. Like, I've got all these scenes with the game on it, and I have to resize every single one every single time. It's annoying. But I don't have to do that anymore. So it's great. So I could swap between these, and I don't have to do any extra changes. I love it. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for this first session of 12. And I'm already getting back into that grinding mode, as is very obvious. It's the kind of stuff I did when I played the game all those years ago, and I love it. So I know that's not for everybody. And I apologize if you're watching. You're like, man, this guy's just grinding. He's making things too easy. I promise, this is fun for me. And I don't care if I like one-shot bosses or something, because this is fun for me. I promise. So don't worry about that. But if it's not your cup of tea, I understand. But if you are watching this and you are new, please consider dropping a follow here on Twitch, twitch.tv/ShoggothUnknown. I would really appreciate it. If you're watching this VOD on YouTube, then please consider dropping a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment if you're so inclined. I really appreciate all of that. Every little bit helps. And yeah, as I said, I'm gonna be doing some grinding off stream between sessions. I'll be back tomorrow. My days are mixed up. Today feels like a Sunday to me for some reason. I'm glad it's not. So today's only Thursday, the 30th of December. I'll be back tomorrow, the 31st of December, with more of this. Another, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours or so of this. Some of it also just depends on where I get and how happy I am with the grinding. But I know there's more to do. There's more to come. We might be stuck in the early game for a few sessions with the way I'm going to be doing things. But without further ado, until next time, have a good day, good night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Take it easy.